In the previous two videos, we combined a very large mixed CMOS and CCD dataset of the magnificent galaxy NGC 6744 using AstroPixel processor. From this we created deep luminance and RGB images. Next, using PixInsight, we applied an identical crop to both images, then applied Blur Exterminator for deconvolution and also Noise Exterminator. I scaled both images using the screen transfer function and histogram transformation menu before saving the images as 16-bit TIFF files. In this concluding video, we'll use Affinity Photo to finish the processing run with cosmetic type corrections. Let's start off by opening the two images. Starting with the RGB file, we can darken the sky background slightly using the Shadows Highlights tool. When darkening the sky background, I always have the histogram menu open to ensure that no part of the image is clipped. With this done, I'll create an LRGB image by copying the RGB image to the clipboard. With the luminance image open, I'll first convert it to a 16-bit RGB file using Document, Convert Format and select RGB 16 from the list. There's no apparent change to the luminance file. We can use Ctrl V to paste the RGB file onto the luminance image. As you can see, the alignment is perfect. From the Layers menu, select the top RGB image and choose Colour from the blending list. Doing this combined the two files into an LRGB image. I'll now flatten the image down to a single layer and export it as lrgb.tiff. Note that the colours are a bit muted at this stage, but we'll correct that later. We can close down the original two files now. The next stage is to extract the stars from the image. And this can be done in Affinity, but it's a bit slow and fiddly, so I'll briefly switch back to PixInsight and apply Star Exterminator. We now have two images on screen. I'll save the star image using the title Stars. And then save the starless galaxy image using Temp. Back in Affinity, we can open the two files. On the galaxy image, note the profusion of faint background galaxies. As a quick test, I'll crank up the vibrance and saturation to assess the quality of the gradient reduction we carried out in PixInsight. There are some gradients left in, so as a quick fix I'll switch over to the free software Graxpert, which usually does a great job at removing gradients. Load the temp image and then open the background extraction menu. I'll use the AI option and click on Calculate Background. Okay, that looks fine. I'll save the image in 16-bit TIFF format and then we'll go back into Affinity and open it. I'll crank up the colour saturation again. Note that there's a slight reddish area left over from the gradient reduction. Copy the star image to the clipboard using Ctrl C and paste it onto the starless galaxy image. I'll now rename the two layers using stars and galaxy, as this will help during the next stages of the processing. First, we can apply a cosmetic correction to the gradient artifact, and for this I'll create a very basic mask by selecting the galaxy layer, right click and choose duplicate. We can rename the base layer to Galaxy 2 for convenience. Select the galaxy layer and use Affinity's Erase Brush tool to paint over the reddish artifact. Ensure that the hardness value is set to 0 and set the opacity to around about 65%. You can view the mask by unticking the Galaxy 2 layer. Now, with the Galaxy 2 layer selected, use the colour balance menu to reduce the red values in the image. Let's do a before and after check. Yeah, seems to have worked well. Select the middle layer and right click to choose Merge Down, so we're back to the star and galaxy layers. Now we can create another mask using the same procedure, so we can work on the galaxy and sky background separately. The starting procedure is the same, and I'll also rename the layers to sky and galaxy. This time I'll create a larger mask that encompasses most of the galaxy, but I'll change the opacity strength as we move out from the core into the fainter spiral arms. Next, I'll apply one of my favourite processing tools, tone mapping. This low contrast boost will really enhance the visibility of details in the galaxy and won't affect much of the sky background, thanks to the mask, which doesn't need any enhancing. With the galaxy layer selected, we click on the tone mapping persona and let it run. Then, from the menu, reduce the tone compression slider to 0 and raise the local contrast slider to about 17%. Click Apply. We can use the history menu again to see the before and after stages. We should be careful to check that there are no artifacts visible from the masking procedure. The mask should be totally invisible. I suggest saving the image at this step using Save As to ensure the layer structure is maintained. Now, if necessary, we can darken the sky background again using the Shadow Highlights tool, but as always, keep an eye on the histogram. Let's now improve the colour of the galaxy. Spiral galaxies are made up of two distinct populations of stars. In the nucleus and surrounding regions, we find the population 2 stars that are predominantly older and exhibit a yellowish or reddish colour. Conversely, the spiral arms are made up of younger, massive blue stars known as population 1. Added to this, of course, are the wonderful red glowing H2 regions that are emission nebulae. Our next procedure will help to enhance all of these. Even better, using our masking layers, any of the enhancements applied to the galaxy will not affect the sky background. Select the galaxy layer and open the colour balance menu. A good starting point will be to move the red and blue sliders towards the right. This will inject those colours into the galaxy, but be careful not to overdo this. We can do another check with the history menu. Yeah, that looks fine. Now we'll open the selective colour menu, and with the red option active, experiment with the sliders to enhance the H2 regions and the colour in the nucleus region of the galaxy. This is quite subtle, so we can apply a second pass if needed. We can enhance the colour of the spiral arms by using the selective colour menu again, but this time choosing the cyan and blue sliders. It's possible that some unwanted red has crept into the outer spiral arms. This can be reduced by using the History tool to click on an earlier state and then click on the Set Undo Brush Source icon. Now come down to the final state, click on the Undo Brush tool and choose a brush size suitable for painting over the affected area of the image. Doing this reverts those parts of the image to the previous state chosen in the History tool. Okay, we're almost done. Try using the Clarity tool on the Galaxy layer. A value of about 12% will gently enhance the spiral arms. If you want more colour in your Galaxy images, use the Vibrance tool again on the Galaxy layer, but once again don't push this too far. To finish, we can select the star layer, hiding the other two layers, and call up the Vibrance tool again. Move the sliders to the right to enhance the colours of the stars. Now save the image again. We've covered a lot of ground in this final video. Here's a view of the Galaxy that I processed earlier at a slightly slower pace. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.